Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special top 10 list from FUgameCrue.
We're at a very special location today. This is the exact spot where they filmed almost every fight in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Over there is where Piccolo trained Gohan. We got a lot of history in this location. But after 20 years, we finally have a new Dragon Ball anime. And rather than a true successor to Z, we're stuck in this weird little purgatory before GT. Because for some reason, Akira Toriyama doesn't want to go over Toei Animation's shitty work.
But he should go over their work because GT sucked Namekian-sized Dragon Balls.
Whoa. Who's this asshole in the comments? Dragon Ball GT's your favorite, huh? Well, you, sir, are either just trying to be different or you weren't really paying attention. Everybody knows Dragon Ball GT sucked ass and doesn't even count. And here's 10 reasons why.
Number 10!
Vegeta has a mustache for no reason at all. Now, why in the HFI single hockey stick does Vegeta have a mustache? A Saiyan's hairstyle is supposed to be the same for their entire lives after birth, which would mean that Nappa was born with a mustache, but technically this could mean that a Saiyan's hair will always grow back to the same point it's supposed to and Vegeta's been shaving his whole life, but that's just stupid. The only reason they could have to give Vegeta a mustache is, fuck it, why not? That should be the motto of this series, actually. Fuck it, why not?
It makes you look like a total geek. It makes you look like a total...
Number 9.
Everything set up in Z was thrown in the trash right off the bat. After 444 anime episodes and 519 manga chapters, Akira Toriyama was a little burned out and decided he was over it, but gave Toei his blessings to continue the Dragon Ball story. At least I think he did. Before he left, he thought he would set them up with what he saw as the natural progression of the series to give them an idea of where to go from there. And for the first time ever, you're going to see exclusive footage of exactly what happened on Akira Toriyama's final day working on Dragon Ball Z at the Toei Animation headquarters.
人を殺めるというのはそういうことです。で、この写真は極めて象徴的なんですが、それをバラバラにするしかないと思ったんですけど、さまざまな人たちをセックスという言葉すら発したことはありませんでした。
あんた何やってんの？俺ラーメンじゃない、店物じゃないんだからね、これ。お前は何や？殺すよ！お前！
At least I think that's what happened.
Number 8!
This show takes way too long to get remotely interesting. Now, I'm okay with Dragon Ball having a little bit of downtime here and there, but why do we have to spend dozens of episodes watching Goku, Trunks, and Pan get into situations we know damn well they can easily get out of, but for some reason don't? Like, look at this guy, for instance. He causes earthquakes with his whiskers. Can't they just knock him out within a fraction of a second? The show starts off trying to be funny like Dragon Ball, but it just isn't, and it's clear that Toei Animation had no idea what they wanted to do other than make some quick money. But how is that an excuse to fuck it up this bad? It takes literally 16 episodes for anything to happen whatsoever. Even Cartoon Network was smart enough to start the series off here and just leave all the bullshit out. But the worst part about all of this is that even though it takes 16 episodes to become watchable, it still sucks after that.
Number 7!
Gotenks doesn't even make one appearance. Finger me sideways. I know Goten and Trunks stopped training and got weaker by the end of Dragon Ball Z and wouldn't make a difference anyways, but neither did Vegeta's mustache and they gave us that. There's even a moment where they tease fusing.
Hey, Trunks, how about some fusion?
Sure, it won't work. Even if you two do fusion, he'd still defeat us. We wouldn't even have a slim chance.
Fucking wieners.
Number 6!
Super Saiyan 4 flat out looks silly. Now, Super Saiyan 1 is badass and iconic. Super Saiyan 2 was something I wasn't even aware was a transformation until I saw Super Saiyan 3, and that was epic as shit. But did we really need a Super Saiyan 4? I mean, if GT were more successful, how far would they have taken it? All those fan-made pictures of Dragon Ball AF I used to download on Kazaa in 9th grade probably weren't too far off. But as badass as Super Saiyan 3 was, it did start to push it a little bit with Goku's hair growing obscenely long, but at least hair is natural. The folks over at Toei Animation thought it'd be seamless for clothes to naturally form along with shoes, pants, and a belt. Now, are we being hypocritical after professing our love for Gotenks who naturally forms clothes? Absolutely. But at least even Gotenks didn't take himself too seriously. Super Saiyan 4 Goku was meant to be
Super badass and cool.
But it ended up coming off as a desperate attempt to turn Goku back into an adult whenever they felt like it because they weren't quite sure whether or not they wanted him as a kid.
Number
5.
Piccolo gets shit on for no reason at all. Piccolo is my personal favorite Dragon Ball character, but since he's not a Saiyan, his services were no longer needed when it came time for GT. For some reason, he's treated like shit throughout the entire series, and even in the last few Dragon Ball Z movies, which makes me feel like the people at Toei Animation are Namekiphobes. We wait so long for Piccolo to make an appearance in GT, and once he finally does, a possessed Gohan just blows him away and it appears that he dies. But then it turns out he survived only to sacrifice himself right away for no good reason, and refuses to let everybody wish him back to life. And as if being dead wasn't enough, in the Super 17 saga, he has to go to hell and stay there. The shitty reason given to us is that he wants to keep the bad guys in line. Why can't King Yemma just put all these assholes in his patented Yemma-lock?
I can do it.
And aren't evil people not supposed to be able to keep their bodies? But Cameron, what about the Ginyu Force attacking King Kai's planet? And Frieza selling the Ginyu Force attacking Goku later on? All that was written by Toei Animation and never appeared in the manga, meaning they're non-canon. You know when people talk about how they're not racist and they don't care if you're black, white, brown, green, or whatever? Well, the people at Toei Animation do care if you're green, and that's fucked up.
This is the path that I've chosen.
Number 4.
Goku is a kid again. Much like Vegeta's mustache, Goku has turned into a kid because, that's right, fuck it, why not? For some reason, becoming a kid again means that Goku forgets certain abilities that he learned as an adult, with the exceptions of transforming into a Super Saiyan because they wanted to sell 2 separate Goku figures, and being able to fly because they probably forgot that Goku didn't learn to fly until he was an adult. My guess is that they wanted Goku to be a kid again so they could legally show his peck on TV in Japan, but here in America that's called child porn. So not only are the people at Toei Animation Namekiphobes, but they're also pedophiles. Excuse me a moment, I'm gonna go do something about that.
Can't say I didn't warn ya. Right, get out, you greasy pedophile, because we don't want to see you in here.
Number 3.
Random people in the universe are way too strong. Why do they encounter so many people on random planets that they just happen to come across who are stronger than a Super Saiyan like Trunks? Let's analyze this for a second by looking at the Ginyu Force, the ruthless group of 5 people who went completely unopposed in the universe for many years. And as strong as they all were, they wouldn't have even been able to make Frieza feel pain in his first form if they all combined their strength and attacked him all at once. And Frieza was able to rule the universe for decades at the very least, without even having a close second in his base form. But when he does transform into his final form at full power, he's still no match for the almighty legendary Super Saiyan. Like Trunks. So why is it that he constantly gets his ass kicked by random people that they just happen to come across throughout the universe? Where were all these random people when Frieza was in power? Like this asshole here who Goku casually mentions is stronger than Majin Buu.
He's powerful, even more powerful than Majin Buu.
How the fuck did nobody know who this random man was? And if this guy's such a big threat, why doesn't Goku turn Super Saiyan 3? I know the Kais were oblivious as to how strong the Saiyans on Earth were, but man, the Supreme Overseers of the universe are really blowing it. And shouldn't Goku be way stronger than Buu by now anyway? Well, he did lose, I guess. Should've transformed, asshole.
Number 2.
All of the characters suck. Most of the old characters we know and love aren't around and are barely even mentioned at all, leaving Goku, Pan, Trunks, and Giru to pretty much carry the load of the series. Fewer characters isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is when they're all one-dimensional, uninteresting, or flat-out annoying. Pan is emo and complains about literally everything. Trunks lost all of his spoiled brat humor from Dragon Ball Z, which makes sense because he's an adult now, but he also doesn't have the same badassery that future Trunks had in the Android saga because he didn't grow up in a post-apocalyptic world. But is this really the best they could come up with? Giru is annoying as shit and serves no purpose, and Goku is just plain dumb. The charm of Goku's character in Dragon Ball when he's a kid is that he's naive to the world, having grown up in the woods, but he wasn't stupid. In Dragon Ball GT, they try to convince us he has trouble counting to 3. And remember all those years Goku trained with Oob and how it looked like we were gonna have a new top, if not main character that's actually not a Saiyan? Yeah, neither does Toei Animation.
Number 1, number 1, number 1, yay!
The ending. If you haven't seen it, don't think of this as a spoiler, but rather a public service to save you many hours of your life.
Goodbye, everyone!
Basically, Goku decides to leave without giving any explanation or to, become the dragon or some stupid shit like that. I don't know, fuck it, why not? But he at least had the decency to say goodbye to Krillin and Piccolo. He's not gonna try to get Piccolo out of hell or anything like that, but at least he checked up on him one last time. It was literally the very least he could do. If they had at least given us a good send-off, it would have made the entire series a lot more bearable, but for the Dragon Ball story to end like this is the worst disservice that Dragon Ball GT could have possibly done.
Should've known it would end this way.
Well, there you have it.
I, for one, don't mind shitty sequels as long as they're trying and they're decent, but Dragon Ball GT just makes it difficult for Dragon Ball Z to truly continue on in the future.
I mean, some of the new stuff contradicts GT, like in Battle of the Gods, Pilaf becoming a kid.
Will anybody honestly care if they just contradict GT and admit that they fucked up and that didn't happen? Because Akira Toriyama didn't make it, it sucked, and it just sullies the series. I actually wanted to see what happened to Oob and Pan and everybody. Maybe they'll just contradict it and we'll actually be able to see the progression of the story.
Thanks for watching.
But he should go over that work because, as we all know, Dragon Ball GT sucked in Namekian-sized Dragon Balls.
Okay.
Now,